Would you be open, because it does look like it's inevitable that schools are going to be closed, would you be open to the idea of at-risk, vulnerable pupils, the class of 2021, the Leaving Cert class, the idea of them going into school? Is that something you would be willing to consider?
Yes, absolutely. But, I mean, there is a plan. We're way better prepared than we were last year. I mean, there's a plan to support continuity of schooling, and this was agreed by the stakeholders. So guidance on remote teaching and learning in the COVID-19 context has been agreed for post-primary schools and centres for education. So that's already agreed, and that's what we're saying is that should kick in next Monday. And teachers and schools who support the students that Aidan was talking about there need to know that now. Like we have in the DESH schools, we have homeschool liaison, people who will support those students who are vulnerable, and they just need to know now, have certainty as to what's going to happen next Monday. Is it again open? Are they open? Are they not opened? This is not helping anybody.
Well, they're not going to be open. I think we can say that with a fair degree
they're not
of
going to be open. Yeah, so, and we think that at a minimum it should be till the 18th till we see, how this the plan that from public health is kicking in, and is it effective in suppressing the spread of viruses? So we're not calling for a long-term closure. We're just talking for the minimum time possible to allow this. But schools will open, but they'll open in a remote context, and schools have planned for that.
Okay. Do you think because the talk is the end of January, do you think that's too long? Do you think they should pick a date somewhere between the 18th and the end of January and see what the lie of the land is like at that point?
Yeah, I think our members and teachers, parents and students all know that the best thing for students is face-to-face. So what we want is that we can return to face-to-face as soon as possible. But the thing is that if we open schools, we want schools to open and be sustainable. That's what we did last September, and we managed to get all the way to Christmas with a sustained opening, even though we were overwhelmed.
Does that not suggest? Sorry to cut across you, Michael. Does that not suggest? Does that not suggest that maybe they are actually better off saying end of January, and by then hopefully the figures will be down at more realistic levels, and that we should just have that certainty now?
Well, yes, but I mean, if you think about it, we've been told that the 14-day break will work. 14 days. If we're suppressing the pandemic and people are obeying public health advice, certainly we can review it on a weekly basis. Absolutely, we've got a plan for remote learning, but we would like to get our students back into classrooms as soon as possible. Yes, review it, but... Sorry, Shane, go ahead.
No, sorry, I was going to let you finish. But just just to be clear, though, your members would be open to the idea of schools staying open for certain cohorts, perhaps the vulnerable children we mentioned, DESH schools, and that possibility of sixth-year, some classes for sixth-year students, because they've missed a huge chunk of time.
Yeah, absolutely. But teachers have been very good. They've every time they've been asked, they've stepped up to the mark.
Yeah.
And we won't leave our students behind. So whatever needs to be made up will be made up by teachers. There is no plan as such for bringing in certain cohorts into schools. There is a plan to support continuity of schooling remotely at the moment. But I mean, schools have as we've seen with the calculated grades last year and opening in September, schools are very flexible and adaptable now.